What's going on here? What are you doing?
So we're here in Deptford Market, a very lively place. We're really upset about the Human Rights Act. I personally know that there are multiple massive super prisons being built. Why, you might ask? Well, it's because they want to take away our right to protest and fill it with like law-abiding people like you and me who actually think. You know, I just I feel so passionately about it that I've actually got off my bum and gone in the street, and everyone's very receptive because people have souls and people have brains. We are not robotic, and we don't need to be told what to do by sort of moronic people in government who are wicked and evil.
And speaking of that, I see the sign behind you there, sign the petition, tell your MP no to the Public Order Bill.
Yeah,
so you're doing...
we've got lots of people signed. They all feel passionately. They weren't aware of it in the news, so it's good that we're here actually telling them about it.
It's very little information the mainstream media are giving you, which I personally do think the mainstream media do work now for the state, you know, the establishment. So obviously they're working hand in hand together, and they give out as little information as possible. But you've got people there, obviously, that you know, sign that.
People feel like us, that that's our rights, and they want to be empowered, and they want their MP to do something about it, quite rightly.
This has got to be one of the most awake places we've found so far. The beauty of always going back to the same spot is that we're well known. People come up, they say, oh yeah, you were talking about the COVID jabs, you were talking about max passports. They feel reassured by seeing us every week, and the great thing is they spread the word. Sometimes they even get on their phones and let their mates know, so they come and sign. At the moment we're focusing on the Public Order Bill because it's a shocking bit of legislation, which means we won't even be able to do this, and we're trying to get people, even the woke people, to sign, because let's face it, they like protesting too. We really need to unite on this. So they've all signed as well, but then alongside that we keep up informed consent, and this is a great place. So many parents around here have not let their children have the COVID jab. So it's really
I do notice that, especially with the ethnic communities, they seem to be quite woke, not woke, sorry, like awake, I should say, and they're based, I should say. They seem to are more willing to listen. They take leaflets, and they actually do. Whenever I have a word with them, they always go, "Yeah, I don't trust any of that stuff." And I think that's to do with historically, you have is it the Tuscany experiments in America and stuff like that, when they were purposely putting in I can't remember what it was, syphilis or something. They were giving black people. It was something on VD, something like that. Just to experiment. So there's always that sort of, and yet people think, oh, the government will never hurt us. So historically, that's always been totally inaccurate. You know what I mean? It's amazing.
And if you're more complacent and always had a job or never had to ask for anything, you won't question democracy because you've never come against it.
No. And what's this? So this petition, you're going to hand that it's the online safety bill, or is it? Sorry, is it the online safety bill?
No.
Or the
this is the Public
Order Bill.
And so far, we've got, I think, about 160 signatures. Well, what we're going to do is really important, this one, because this is about being able to talk about our freedoms. We're going to do two things. First of all, we send a copy to Vicky Foxcroft, the local MP. So this is to target local MPs, because you only need 2 to stand up in Parliament. And we found it worked. When we did a stand up MP for no vax passport, I think I did it in Barking, Dagenham, and someone did it in Bromley. It worked.
I think it's a good idea. That needs to be going on quite often. I
wish
think.
That it was
And I think turn up at councils as well. Council meetings is quite good as well. Because there's a guy who does that in America. He does it. He turns up. He's a comedian though, and he does all these. Have you seen it by chance? He turns up at a local council meeting.
My openly gay 6-year-old transgender nephew wanted something different than most kids for his birthday. He wanted the COVID-19 vaccine for the greater good of humanity. Because unlike the racist Republicans, he wanted to protect our democracy and take on his social responsibility to do his part for the greater good. He is now gone from this world. He recently had a heart attack. But the doctors say They don't know what caused it, but I know what caused it. It was a stress from the Donald Trump supporters.
Hello, how you guys doing, Council? So my name is Alexandria Stein, and I'm here today to call out transphobia here in Plano. I'm currently being restricted from swimming in the City of Plano Swim League against the women, even though it's clear that I reassigned my gender last week. Like, for example, do I look like a man? Obviously I'm not. This is a woman. But they're not going to let me swim and compete against the ladies because of transphobia.
And then he talks about what's going on, but in a comedic way, and he dresses up occasionally as well, just to explain it more better. So, yeah, go to council meetings, because you can't really publicly talk in MP surgery, because usually it's just a one-on-one thing. But when it's an open public forum like a council meeting, you can film it as well. You can film inside the council as well. So we've got another Sue here. Hello, Sue. So imagine I'm now a new person. So I'm going to help you out. Tell us what each leaflet are for and what this panel's for.
We're here today because there's a new bill coming through Parliament. They're calling it the Public Order Bill, and that's what it's about: ordering the public and keeping the public from demonstrating. Their right to go out on the street and say no, like we have now. Whatever it is you want to protest about, whether it's animals or the price of food or whatever, they don't want that.
No.
They want us to stay indoors and shut up. So what we're doing, we're giving people these leaflets, okay, which explain what they're doing, okay? And then we're asking them to sign our petition, which will go to the local MP, which will tell her she has to stand up in Parliament and say no. This is taking away people's freedoms. This will turn us into a fascist dictatorship, basically, because if you're not allowed out on the street to congregate like we're doing now, to even speak to people about anything, then we're in big trouble.
No.
We'll become like, as I say.
Yeah, it's good. You got quite a few signatures there. You got 2 clipboards, and one page is already full. I saw on the other Sue's one. So that's really good, and you're getting a lot of good responses, aren't you, as well?
People feel quite strongly about this when you speak to them about the right. They might not have been to a protest in their life, but the fact is they don't want that taken away. Yeah. Because they can see it's a symbol of freedom, a symbol of what a humanitarian country should be. You know, in some countries you stand up and say no, and you might get shot. You might get imprisoned. Yeah, well,
it's
they're going to try and not shoot us, but they'll try and possibly imprison us.
It's a slowly erosion, isn't it? Slow,
so
boiling frog sort of analogy.
Rights, bill by bill, right by right.
There you go, you're absolutely right. And there's multiple ones going through as well, isn't there? There's not just also online harms bill, which is going to censor the internet further.
Which will give the government more rights over your child. Not allow you to keep them out of school if you don't approve of the curriculum, and there's a lot of curriculums that people are finding very unsavoury, telling them about sex at a very young age, telling them about even masturbation and things at very young ages.
It's not appropriate.
It's not appropriate, and that's not really for young children. So, but you wouldn't be allowed to actually keep your child back from that.
The purpose is to let people know the threat to their rights from the various government bills, and if possible to let them know about the vaccine outrages which are going on at the moment. And all this is being done by our government and by our local authorities, and the whole system. The NHS is all, as we know, as some of us know, we are facing the biggest emergency in human history.
And you're doing multiple things here in Deptford today. So tell us about what are the online, what's the bills going through Parliament at the moment that need, because you got a petition as well.
Petition,
that people are also signing. So there's multiple things you're doing.
As we know, there are 10 bills. We've got information here about those, brief information to show the people who fought the war are turning in their graves over these propositions of this government, which no doubt will be supported by the Labour Party. We are concentrating today on the Public Order Bill, where there'll be no right of protest, essentially. They'll make it so difficult that nobody will be able to raise their voice even. So, and we've collected, getting on for 200 signatures to go to the local MP, Lewisham, and get them, look at them in the whites of their eyes and get them to stand up.
Right.
We're giving democracy a chance. Now, I know a lot of people think it's futile, but we can't magic up new MPs, new police, new doctors, so we've got to get onto them, look them in the eye, and get some spine into their backs and some strength into their kneecaps.